even like Ben Montench, who plays for Tom Petty, he plays on this record. I
Wow.
mean, it's insane. It's insane. And I remember like he knew Billy Preston, and but it was right before he was very very ill at the time, and he couldn't make the flight over, but he was going to for Sheldon, and I'm just like, this is insane, and that's how I got to play with James Burton, who was Elvis Presley's guitar player, who also played on a couple of tracks on this record, that all because of Sheldon, who was just knew all these people, which was incredible.
I think we have a
There
picture
he is.
here.
Yeah,
That's
there's
amazing.
James. Yeah, and
So-
when James asked me, he said, "Well, Tina, what do you want on these songs?" I said, "James, whatever Elvis wanted you to play, that's what I want you to play."
I love it. Welcome to the Back Catalog Listening Party, your weekly musical happy hour where musicians pick an album from their back catalog and tell the stories behind their favorite tracks in front of a live online audience.
This week, we share a special encore episode with soulful singer-songwriter Tina Schlieske to celebrate her 20th anniversary of her album Slow Burn and its new vinyl release. She joins us from her home in California to talk about this first solo album after coming off the road with Stevie Ray Vaughan's band, the incredible cast of musicians who played on the record, and how the songs captured a special time in her life when she was settling down with her wife and starting a family. So pour a beverage, grab a snack, and kick back as we listen to music together here on the Back Catalog Listening Party, where it's always Friday and old albums never sounded better. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Happy
And
Friday.
welcome to the Back Catalog Listening Party. My name is Mother Banjo, one of your hosts.
My name is Anthony Ehrig, the other host.
And today we have joining us all the way from sunny Santa Barbara, California, Tina Schlieske.
Thank you.
And looks like Alan joined the party a little early today. He was ready for his Friday happy hour. Hi,
Hey,
Alan.
Nice.
If you are joining us today on the Back Catalog Listening Party, let us know where you're tuned in from, if you're enjoying a beverage or a snack, as we kick off our weekend together to enjoy a listening party with Tina Schlieske. And Tony, what are you enjoying on this Friday afternoon?
Well, in honor of our guest's location, I'm enjoying a Sierra Nevada hazy little thing IPA in my Back Catalog Listening Party pint glass.
Nice. Looking good. And what about you, Tina? Are you enjoying any kind of beverage? I know it's earlier there.
It's a little early. I was enjoying some Health Aid kombucha.
Oh, nice choice. Very
I
good.
also very much like the alcoholic version of the kombucha, but it's still the afternoon here. So
yeah, I understand.
How about you, Ellen?
I was so excited for today's show with Tina that I normally I go to, like the box of wine that's sitting in the kitchen, whatever it might be. But today I actually opened up a real bottle.
Oh,
so
yes.
a nice Cabernet.
Fancy.
Yeah, I know, real fancy, in a real glass and everything.
Well, if you're out there enjoying a beverage or a snack, like Alan was saying, let us know where you're tuning in from. It looks like our friend Connie's here from Richfield. Hi, Connie. And Alinda from New Haven, Connecticut. Hi, Alinda. So great to have you all here. Just a reminder, this is our weekly musical happy hour, and it wouldn't be a happy hour without great conversation. And we're going to be talking with Tina, asking her all about, the record and the music and everything. But we would love to have your participation too. So if you're out there, let us know where you're coming from, and any questions and comments you have for Tina, just pop them in the comments and we'll try to get to them throughout the hour.
And it looks like our good friend and past guest, Molly Mayer, is joining us from St. Paul.
Yes,
Hi,
Molly.
And AK2 Labs having a Liney's from Wisconsin. That seems appropriate. So wherever you have tuned us in.
I miss a cold
I know. Yeah, well, for folks who are not as familiar with your music, Tina, maybe we should start with a little bit about your background, because although you're in California now, your roots are really closer to a Liney's.
Yes.
So more Liney's than Sierra Nevada. So why don't you tell us a little bit about brief origin story of where you grew up and how you fell into making music?
I primarily grew up in the suburbs of Minneapolis, Apple Valley. Go Apple Valley Eagles. And then as soon as I possibly could, I hit 18 and moved to Minneapolis, and And but I was born in Chicago with most of my siblings, except for my younger brother was born in Indianapolis. But um, yeah, but and so we have like lots of family still in Chicago. We still, went to Chicago quite a bit, but I definitely feel more, Minneapolis, even though I've lived in California now for almost 25 years now, and yeah,
We
it's
still like to
crazy.
claim you here, by the way, Tina.
Yes.
Yeah, I think when I first moved to Minnesota, a few decades ago, and I was getting to know the local music scene, and I started hosting the Women Folk Radio show on KFAI. I had more requests for Tina and the B-Sides, which was your
Hmm.
earlier band, and I think you were the most requested band on my radio show.
Oh my
Like every
gosh.
week, they're like, and then there was this one guy who called like every week, was like, Tina and the B-Sides, Tina and the B-Sides. So
Oh,
like you were kind of my introduction to Minnesota music in a big
wow.
way. And so tell us a little bit about kind of, yeah, your early days in music and kind of what led up to the recording of this first solo record that we're going to revisit today.
Yeah, so I mean, how lucky was I to be, brought up in the Minneapolis music scene at that time. I mean, the mid 90s, I mean the mid 80s going through up into the end of the 90s for me. And it was just such a incredible, inspirational, just hotbed of just, music. I mean, just music, music, music everywhere. And we would basically, but practice in my mom's basement. And our first gig we got was 40 years ago this year at 7th
Mm.
Street Entry on November 9th. And we opened up for the Urban Gorillas, who were really big, back then. And so we just gradually just kept going, playing Taco Tuesdays at the Caboose to, one day finally, getting to play First Ave. And that was like, that took a good 10 years of like, just crawling and pushing and singing and getting in vans and just doing everything. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, it's just like, um, especially just like I said, Minneapolis people, they're the only place that there could be a blizzard outside and you can't even like drive or get, but people will show up to a show and drink an ice cold beer when it's, 30 below zero. It's like, what could be better? I mean, it's like, yeah. And so it was, did all that. We did the whole fairy tale thing. The band got signed. And then before I wanted the whole thing to become, we started, getting signed wasn't the best experience, I think, for all of us. And we started almost, I felt like we were starting to turn on each other and like blaming each other. And that's when I thought, I love all these people way too much. I think we should just put the band on hiatus. And then I went on tour with Double Trouble for a while and for a summer. And they
Stevie
really
Ray
wanted
Vaughan's
me.
band?
Yeah.
Wow.
Stevie Ray
Yeah.
Vaughan's band. I played with Chris Layton and Tommy Shannon. And I was one of the lead singers, background singer, and rhythm guitar player. And that was an incredible experience. Had a great time doing that. We toured with Kenny Wayne Shepherd and really got exposed to that blues world, and the fans are like, they are, wow. I mean, blues fans are like, man. And they really wanted me to continue on with them, but I just felt like I wanted to do something for myself musically and artistically and to try something without, the B-sides. And that's when Slow Burn came to be. And so Double Trouble asked me to join them, and I just very graciously, I said, I'm so sorry. I've got to do this. I don't know. And I just had this record in me, and that's what I wanted to do. And I just moved to California with my girlfriend, who I'm still with, my partner. And we've got two kids. It was, yeah. And then it's 9/11 happened, like not, right before that. The world was such a, interesting, I'm being flooded with like back then I was in so many crossroads with my life as well, with being a new mom, living in California with my partner, and just embarking on a solo musical career. There's a lot of like big, things happening, for me at that time.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited to hear this record, and I love this album, so I'm really excited that you picked picked it to
Aw.
talk about today. This came out in 2005, Slow Burn. And again, your first solo album after putting the Tina and the B-sides on hiatus. And the first track that you picked to feature today is Love Everlasting. Is there anything you want to say about the song before we take a listen?
Yeah. So again, this was like talking about the big changes that was happening in the world and just everywhere. And I wrote this song because Gavin Newsom, I mean, and now it seems so different, but back then same-sex marriage was still illegal in this country, and it still is in some places. But he was the first one as the mayor of San Francisco to make marriage legalized. And so that was it was a song about that. Really, it was the impact, and like he knew that it was going to be overturned. He knew that it was not, but sometimes it takes that one person to do that one thing to make it push forward. Yeah.
Amen. All right. Well, let's give it a listen, folks. We're kicking off our weekend here on the Back Catalog Listening Party with Tina Schlieske, Love Everlasting.
Anyone can make a change, they feel they have the will. Anyone can free the minds of those who live in fear.
Gotta wait for that last
Yeah.
organ chord.
That's right.
Love Everlasting by Tina Schlieske from her 2005 album Slow Burn, which we are revisiting today on the back catalog listening party with Tina Schlieske joining us live from her home in Santa Barbara, California. Ah, what a great way to kick off today's
Yeah.
show.
That felt great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
really like soul healing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I felt
Oh.
like I was at church or something there, with all that great harmony singing and backup
Oh,
singing.
thank
Yeah,
you.
I would love to hear about the cast of characters that are playing on that song or the whole record, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, first, like real quick, all of a sudden just came to me, quick side story. I was just thinking that sweet, sweet love, that part came from like what I always loved, like singing with my sister Laura. She's always right there. Like we do a lot of improv, and we used to with the B-sides, especially all the time. And that was one of the things, like during one of the breakdowns, I think it was like when we would play during Lola, we'd play Piece of My Heart, and the band would break down. And then I just started singing for whatever reason, Sweet, Sweet Love. And I thought, it's kind of cool, like Laura and I singing that back and forth. I want to put that in a song. So that was part of how that song was written too, from that riff that we kind of came up with live one time. But yeah, so the whole record, I was so lucky. I was just moved to LA, like I said, and I met Sheldon Gomberg, who was the producer, and he was a bass player on the record as well. And he's played with Ricky Lee Jones and oh my gosh, the main guy that he played with. And oh my gosh, my menopausal brain is like, but the man that wrote and Werewolves of London.
Warren Zevon.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. He was his bass player for a very long time as well, and produced many. Like it goes on and on. He's incredible artist, producer, musician. He knew like so many people, and so on this record, like who's playing pedal steel is Greg Lees, who was he was part of Ray LaMontagne's band. He was also played with Katie Lang for many many years. An incredible studio touring musician. And then on organ was Jeff Young, who played with Jackson Brown for many years. And Don Heffington is playing drums, the amazing Don Heffington, who's, he passed away, I think, a year or so ago. But just incredible, incredible musicians that made these songs like come to life. It was like I was in awe. Like, so yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the vocals. Was your sister joining you on that
Yes.
track then?
Nice.
Yes. So Laura, I mean, I can never go, even though, there's a part of you that's like, I can do this on my own. I want to, and then I'm like, why? I love, I don't care. Like, I love her. She's my sister and I love the way she sings. And it's like, I just trust her. And it's that sibling thing, it's just that instinctive thing that just happens like that. She knows where I'm going to go and she knows exactly what I want with these songs. It's never a struggle. And so Laura sang backup. Another backup singer she sings a lot in LA, CeCe White and Lisa Bourne. And then Jeff Young, the keyboard player, also sang some backups, which was great. But it was mainly Laura. Yeah.
It sounded so good. Was that tracked live or was that kind of a multi-track situation?
It was a multi-tracked, type of thing. Because like a lot of these guys that Sheldon got they like, even like Ben Montench, who plays for Tom Petty, he plays on this record. Wow. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. And I remember like he knew Billy Preston, and but it was right before he was very, very ill at the time, and he couldn't make the flight over, but he was going to for Sheldon. And I'm just like, this is insane. And that's how I got to play with James Burton, who was Elvis Presley's guitar player, who also played on a couple of tracks on this record, that all because of Sheldon, who was just knew all these people, which was incredible.
I think we have a picture
there he is.
Here.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
James. Yeah. And when James asked me, he said, well, Tina, what do you want on these songs? I said, James, whatever Elvis wanted you to play, that's what I want you to play.
Love it.
Channel that ghost of Elvis.
That's right.
Also, speaking of the cast of characters that recorded on your record, it looks like one of Lisa, who you mentioned as one of the background singers, is joining us today. So hi, Lisa.
Welcome.
Hi, Lisa. Yes.
Really wonderful. And if you have any comments or questions for Tina as we go along today on the back catalog listening party, feel free to throw them in the comments and we'll get to as many of them as we can. And one of the questions I had was you mentioned about talking about that sibling singing, which is so special. And as you said, so instinctual. You mentioned you had other siblings. Did you all are they musical as well? Did you guys sing a lot at home together, or is this just something that you and Laura share?
Well, my grandmother, she on my mom's side sang in the Russian opera, and so I guess you could say we kind of got the it kind of skipped my mom and dad, no, and then kind of came over to my sister and I, and but my oldest brother, Bobby, he actually like in high school did some sort of singing at Apple Valley High School, and then but it was my brother Eric and I who started, like he was there from the beginning with me at the B-sides. He played drums. And so it wasn't until so Eric and I had the B-sides, and then we got a little bit older, and then Laura was in college, and then I'm like, Laura, come and sing. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And so because she was a music major in college, and she also sang jazz while she was out there. And I thought it'd be how great to have like, my sister as my backup singer if she could, and it took a little prodding and begging, but she did, and just so thankful that she did. It's amazing to be able to sing with her.
Yeah, that's so wonderful.
Hey there, would you like to be part of the live show? Well, become a member of the Back Catalog Listening Party Patreon, and you'll get a backstage pass to weekly online tapings where you can ask the artist questions and participate in the live chat with a fun community of like-minded music nerds. You'll also get a first look at upcoming guests and receive invitations to special live streams and private after parties. So join the party today at patreon.com/Back Catalog Listening Party.
And I need more music because this is just doing it for me today. Somehow the universe knew I needed this album today.
Somehow it knows every Friday at 4 p.m. Central that we all need a little lift, a little pick-me-up.
That's right. That's right. Well, the next track you picked to feature is Never Knew Love. And I will say there are a lot of love-themed songs on this album. The good and the hard parts. But it makes sense when you mention that there are all these things happening in your life at the same time,
Yes.
like having having a kid and you and your partner moving to California and starting a new life and all these things. Were these songs written because it was your first solo album? Were these songs written at a time together, or were they just sort of a collection of songs that kind of were collecting at the same time that you were recording?
Yeah, about half of them. Well, first we've got 2 kids. I don't want to like leave one of them.
Right.
We've got a daughter, Maya, and our son is Atticus. And yes, it was at the beginning of so many. There's a lot of love songs with it because it was the beginning of, our family, our relationship together. And Never Knew Love was that song was so so the collection of songs. Some of them I started to write. I had little ideas, right after the B-sides, and then while touring with Double Trouble and all these things, and then when I got close to recording this record, then typical me, I'm I hate it, but I put off things. I'm a procrastinator, like in the worst. I've written so many songs while I'm in the studio because I have to finally finish it, and so some of those were of those songs, and I cannot remember quite which ones, but I know that Never Knew Love was. I wrote that right after the B-sides broke up, and I musically. And I wanted it in the style of Aretha Franklin, just like hoping, like maybe I can know somebody who knows Aretha Franklin because I love Take Me to Heart. And I always love you. Why can't I? I'm so sorry. My brain is just like losing it. If somebody remembers that song that I'm trying to remember, but anyway, it's an Aretha Franklin song in that style. And then lyrically, it was basically a love letter to my girlfriend Justine, and at that time, and just feeling a different kind of love, a new love that I've never felt before, type of thing.
Mm.
All right. Well, we're all going to experience it now. This is Tina Schlieske, Never Knew Love, here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
Well, I'm gonna take my time to get this thing right, 'cause I don't wanna hold and hide my love away like I've done so many times. I was so scared to let my heart feel, 'cause I just wanna give you everything I have, babe. Show you how good I can be. But love can give you everything. Love can make you puppet on a string. Love can take it all away. Oh, and because of you, never knew love this way. I can no longer deny what I'm living for, because for the first time in my life, babe, I never needed, never wanted anything more. But some like to hide their love away. Some take more than they give away. Some lead love astray. Oh, but because of you, I never knew love this way. There are too many things I would love to say. There are too many games that I don't want to play. Love will give you everything. Love will make you a puppet on a string. Love will take you all away. Oh, and because of you, never knew love this way. Oh, and because of you, I never knew love this way.
Sorry, that deserved extra applause.
That really did.
Madison chimes in. Damn, Tina, new favorite song. I'm with you there, Madison.
Yeah, and then Chris says, "Awesome, Colette, so good. Brent Fuqua, preach it." Yeah, and I have to say, when those, I'm so glad it ended with those strings, that sort of
Yeah.
sweetness. But I love when they first came in. I was like, oh yeah, this. Like, even if you hadn't said that Aretha thing, I would have been like, oh, this feels like a classic. Like the way the strings come in and provide that just warmth throughout the whole track, even when you're getting fiery on the vocals. That there's just such sweetness to it. It's really nice.
I was going to
Thank
ask
you.
about that too. Like, kind of, I'm one of my just fascinations with music is how people can kind of put the elements together in so many different ways. And, I always am interested in how, this particular arrangement came to be. Are you sitting there thinking, I think I need some strings, or I want to model it after this particular Aretha song, or is it the producer? Are you guys, kind of going back and forth? What's your process, or what was your process for this record and these songs?
Mine was jumping off with the whole Aretha, that old school soul song with the strings and everything, and it was, so I knew what I wanted. And again, having a brilliant producer who knows everyone, Sheldon Gomberg, he just flipped through I said, I want a big string, like an old school strings on this. And he goes, well, let me call my friend David Bloomberg. And David Bloomberg he was an amazing string arranger. He did Stevie Wonder's Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. He worked with Jackson 5. He worked
Wow.
many jazz, like Milt Jackson's stuff. He also did Barbara Streisand. Like, he did like everybody back in the day. And this is just Sheldon's friend. And it's
Wow.
and I have his the score that he wrote. I have it framed and it's in my studio hanging. Because it was such an amazing thing. And when he did this arrangement, and his daughter heard it, and when she got married, she specifically requested this song be her wedding song, which is kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
And so you mentioned the Aretha song. And by the way, I think I found the song that was, because I was like, I know the song you're talking about. It's Do Right Woman, Do Right Man.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And I should know that.
Well, no, during the break, I was like, I'm going to find it, because it was so mainly to make myself feel better. But you mentioned Aretha as a big influence. Obviously you've mentioned jazz. Was this music that you were listening to growing up? Or is this music that kind of shaped you later when you were starting to make your own music?
It was sort of my music growing up was mainly I was in the David Bowie, Iggy Pop, Velvet Underground, that kind of sound. And then, but my sister, when she came back from college, she brought a cassette of Aretha Franklin, and that just opened a whole side of R&B, and then just could not get enough of old R&B. And my mom listened to everything. That's where I got to hear Janis Joplin and the Beatles and the Stones and Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson and Joni Mitchell and Luciano Pavarotti and everything in between. So, and I feel like I had such an amazing exposure to all genres of music. And so this collection of songs was probably just the hodgepodge of mainly I was listening to a lot of Lucinda Williams. Because I'm remembering back then I was listening to a lot of Lucinda Williams. That was like, so it was really kind of like, and the Jayhawks. I was listening to a lot of Jayhawks back then too. And so I was really trying to work on that craft of just that sort of Americana singer-songwriter type of crafting songs, with my love of R&B, and try to express that through vocals and things like that. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of vocals, maybe this just to kind of cap off that statement. Chris was wondering if you had specific vocal inspirations. I think Aretha we can safely put in that category. Anybody else that in just specifically vocally?
I think I loved Elvis's he could sound like, on Hound Dog, he sounds that gritty rock and roll style. And then he goes, and then when he does like, something like Suspicious Minds, it's a little bit more soulful, dramatic. And David Bowie reminds me of like Elvis does, same thing, like where Bowie can do so many different voices and just, I aspire, I try to be like that, just have some drama, some um different characters in my voice. I feel more confident singing like that now when I listen. I mean, there's so many. I was kind of cringing at a few notes. I'm like, oh, oh, like I know I could have. I listen to this and I know it's done, but I could sing it so much better now. I hear the insecurities and I can tell I'm just limiting my vocal so much because I'm just afraid. And and it's funny. So I'm just listening to this and self-criticizing, but also just thinking, well, that's where I was back then. So what can I do?
I wouldn't have
Yeah.
But
known. I wouldn't have
yeah,
known.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded amazing, but I think you're right. I mean, not only does your voice and your artistry evolve as we age, but also the songs kind of take on
yeah,
new life. And I know before we came on to do the show today, you mentioned that a bunch of these are songs you still do in your live sets. So,
yes,
like, is this one that kind of regularly enters your set?
yes. Like the Never Knew Love or the one we're going to play
Oh,
next.
either of them. Yeah.
Either. Yeah. So I do play Never Know Love as when I can. When I trust the band and my sister's there to help me sing it, then because it is a big song and it needs those nuances of and I do play Hardly Tell quite a bit, like here.
Mm.
Um, the next song that we were going to play, and that was another very, very first song. So it's funny, Never Knew Love and Hardly Tell were like the first songs of the album that were complete and that ones that I wrote for it.
Excellent. And we're going to take a listen to Hardly Tell, but I do want to mention, since we were talking about how great this recording sounds, you
Yes.
can buy this album. And I think
And you
do you still
should.
have physical copies, Tina, of this album?
I think I'm out of the CDs. I think it's
Okay.
just available download now.
Digitally. Okay.
Yeah,
But you want to
digitally.
you want to buy the actual tracks so that you
Yes.
can hear it in the highest res format possible.
It sounds so good. I mean,
sounds so good.
we don't
I
have to
mean,
say, I mean, she's listed off the who's who on this, and the production is just
it's so
insane.
great. And
It's
you
so
want to
good.
hear it on headphones with the whole thing. So go
Oh,
to TinaSchlesky.com. You can check out her full catalog, but this album that we are revisiting today on the back catalog listening party, Slow Burn, is up there as well. So you can find it and definitely you want to get it. I mean, you all know, you've been chiming in the chat about how great it sounds, and it's going to sound even better when you get those high level audio files. Anyway, but now we will take a listen to Hardly Tell. Is there anything you want to say about this before we do?
yeah. I always say a little story. A lot of people, if there's anybody that's out there that's watching this that spend a lot of my shows, I mean, I talk about this song because it is funny. It was the very first song I was trying to pay off a very, very large tax bill left over from the B-sides when we were, took a break from the road, and I drove my Jeep up to Fargo, North Dakota, played at this one VFW that I thought was going to be like this cool, you know, kitschy bar like we have in the Midwest. And it was full of like Shriners and like old people. And like, I'm like, this, I should have listened to my dad. Like, I cannot believe that this is where my career is, playing for three people in this kind of depressing bar in Fargo. I'm like, oh. So when I was upstairs in the dressing room, I wrote this song. And so
Hmm.
at least I love Fargo. So there's nothing against Fargo. It was just, I think, a weird bar. It was the Moose Lodge. I don't know if it's still there. It was a weird bar, a weird time. And yeah, not a high point in my career, let's just say.
But great fodder for songwriting.
Yes,
That's called
yes,
paying your dues, and
yes.
Tina sure has. Let's give it a listen. This is Hardly Tell, Tina Schlieske here on the back catalog listening party.
What I know it well. Sometimes you can hardly tell that all these feelings have gone awry, that all these feelings inside have died, but you can hardly tell. Ooh, you can hardly tell. Some give a little, some give a lot. Some try to sell you what you've already got. Then you feel you've outworn your stay. Then someone just begs you to stay, to stay. Well, you can hardly tell. Yeah, you can hardly tell. It's so hard to find real good heart in mind. Just a friend to bring you home. So I guess this is finally it. You give it your all, and this is all there is. What I know it well. And if I can fake it, you can hardly tell. Well, you can hardly tell. Yeah, you can hardly tell. It's so hard to find real good heart in mind. Just a friend to bring you home. Yeah, it's so hard to find real good heart in mind. Just a friend to bring you home. You can hardly tell. You can hardly tell. Ooh, you can hardly tell. You can hardly tell. Ooh, you can hardly
Tina Schlieske
Nice.
with Hardly Tell from her 2005 album Slow Burn, which we are revisiting today on the Back Catalog Listening Party with Tina Schlieske, joining us live from Santa Barbara, California. And Yeah. Oh, sounds so good.
It sounds so good.
Oh, thank
I know.
you.
I saw Tony air drumming too.
I was.
at that last bit.
It did not. It came out spontaneously.
It's like
somehow that energy of if you've ever seen Tina play live, it's infectious. I was like Ellen. Somebody said, "Hey, you got to check out this band, Tina and the B-sides," and we went to this great bar, kind of a legendary bar in Minneapolis called the Caboose, and you were playing in some configuration of the B-sides, and I was just absolutely blown away by it. Was the energy, it was it kind of radiated from you and the band, and I'm feeling that same thing here in the studio recordings too, and that's a really special thing to be able to capture that.
Mm.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a very, very big compliment because I struggled, trying so hard to, people would always say like, why don't your records sound like you do live? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I feel like there was definitely some magic that was captured by Sheldon on this record. It felt very mature for me at the time. And it felt very, like serious, but also freeing, in a
Mhm.
lot of ways.
Yeah, and I also hear the drama. It's funny you were talking before about like Elvis and Bowie and how they could channel that, and it's funny. I felt that in the arrangement of that last song.
Oh,
Like 'cause there's
yeah.
lots of different parts. It starts with just the acoustic guitar, and then it builds, and then there's the breakdown, and then I don't know. It felt like it took us on a real journey that went way beyond that Moose Lounge or wherever you were playing in
The Moose
Fargo.
Lodge, yeah.
It definitely elevated it way above that. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
That's good. That's good.
And we should mention that if you want to see Tina Schlieske perform live, since we've been talking about how great of a performer she is, Twin Cities fans, Minnesota music fans, will be excited because March 1st, which will be a week from today, she'll be
Yes.
doing a big album release show at the Ice House. And even bigger news, today is the release day for your new record. What?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Cheers to
Yay.
that.
Extra
Yes.
applause for that. I love that cover.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about this record because it's pretty different from what we're listening to today.
Yes, and it's sort of oddly like looking back the journey of like we were just talking about early my vocal influences and things and really I think really embracing my grandmother's influence. Singing jazz standards is a very one person described it, and I think they were really that it was very true. They're like those old standard songs are sort of like mini operas. They're these
Mm-hmm.
love tragedies, and the voice needs to my part in the band is to really emotionally convey that while holding the melody and the notes. I'm and so it's like a twofold thing that I love about this, that I get to sing dramatically with these songs and emotionally, and then I get to be just in jazz the vocalist is just another instrument in the band. It's not the lead, they're not the lead singer or it's just you're the vocalist in this ensemble, and I really enjoy that as well, and singing these songs and singing jazz. It sort of brings me back to the early days of doing punk music in the basement, because it's like you're so relying on what you're playing off of what everybody else is playing. So I taught myself how to do music and sing music and play music with that kind of instinct through punk music, and then being older now and coming back to that sort of playing off of people, but then bringing technique and bringing age and all the other kind of things to it is kind of a very interesting process. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited about this album. It's unexpected, but I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, we are too. If you didn't catch this, this is a departure for
Yes.
Tina. She's doing
Yes.
jazz standards. Can you hold that record up again? I just
Yes.
love that cover.
Yes.
And what led
Epic.
you? What kind of led you to this record? Was it just one day you said I have to do this jazz record? I've always wanted to do it, or was there kind of an inciting incident?
What really perked it off was right before the pandemic, and the mood of the country, shall we say, was of not my of my elk.
You can just say it. That's fine.
The Trump years were a very dark time for me, and just politically and everything that was happening in this country. all of a sudden, like standards and like I always listen to Billie Holiday and Frank Sinatra, Nina Simone. They've always been my I just go tos. But there was something about the actual music that I wanted to sing for the very first time because of it was such a complicated music, but yet it's so simple in its message, which is just about love. And I just, all the anger and all the hate and all the everything that was happening in the country and still sadly is and the world. I just wanted to have uh that simple music, that simple message of love, and then also to almost have blinders on where you're concentrating so hard, like I can't scream, I have to really think about what I'm singing. And so it just helped me. It kind of
Mhm.
became like this cocoon, like singing
Mm.
this music. And so to make myself feel good, I'd dress up in a tuxedo and I'd play every Tuesday in Santa Barbara with a bunch of guys, and we'd just sing these standards. And then it just kind of kept snowballing from there. And then the pandemic came. Right before the pandemic, I recorded some of these songs and then was listening to them in the pandemic. I thought, these are actually kind of, maybe we should just build on this. And then, so it was kind of a weird, slow process. But after 2 years, we got there and here we are. Like I'm releasing this record, which I'm just like, what? Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, well, cheers to that.
Yeah.
Happy
Thank
release
you.
day.
Yeah, happy
Thank you.
release day. You can learn
Thank you.
more about the record, the release, buy the album at tinashaleski.com. We have that on the screen here. I'll put it in the comments as well. I know it's gonna blow you away.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
you can check out information about the Minneapolis release show coming up next Friday, as well as any other upcoming tour dates and information. You can go to tinashaleski.com. And we have a question to get to from Chris. But before we do, I just want to have this opportunity to thank our patrons. These are the folks that keep this show
Yes.
going from week to week and through. This is the 199th episode
Ooh.
of the back catalog.
Yeah.
That's
Listening
we're approaching a milestone here.
So
Amazing.
these are the folks. This was our pandemic coping mechanism.
Yes,
Some people sing
this is
jazz.
our cocoon.
Some people sing jazz.
It still is our cocoon.
I know. It's still what keeps us getting through all the madness in the world. And we want to thank these folks because these are the folks that have supported the show from the beginning and also continue to support it. Even though there's tons of wonderful shows and things you can do out in the real outdoors, there's still something valuable about coming together and listening to music from across the planet together and talking about it. So we want to thank Penny, Ann, Alinda, Bevan, Connie, Vaughn, Alan, Chris, Alex, Becky, Peggy, Joe, Jim, Beverly, John, Fred, Tim, Sarah, David, Jocelyn, Matt, Steve, Mark, Homestead Pick and Parlor, Severin, Lynn, Mary, Many Tracks, Nikki, Joni, David, CJ, Wiley, Stephanie, and maybe you. If you would like to become a patron, and we have a special event coming up for our 200th episode, a special after party. You get first look at all the guests. If you want to be part of that and you want to get that back catalog listening party pint glass that Tony is sporting today, you can get that sent to you as well. So you can become a patron, but mainly we're just happy you're here with us enjoying the party.
We sure are. Music is one of those things that brings everybody together and really helps you kind of put things in perspective. And at least for me, it's one of the most hopeful art forms, whether it's singing the blues or singing about love. It's the shared human experience, and it's better served together. And that's why I love this every week. I know that you're out there, and it means so much to us. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so
Well
much.
said, Tony.
Yeah. And we want to get to this question from one of our Patreon supporters, Chris Jetner, said, dovetailing on the idea of how you see this album now, can you share how you compare our feeling about the new album releasing soon? Obviously, you've talked about the new album, but maybe you could say a little bit about, again, looking back on this album that we've been revisiting today. Like, are you like, oh, young Tina, that's sweet? Or are you like, wow, this is like better than I remembered? What are your feelings that you have when you listen to these songs?
It's like I said earlier before, it's very rare that I catch myself going, oh, look at me, and wow, that was great. I'm already, every time I'm like, why did I go to the second verse like that? So I try really hard to sort of appreciate the moment that I was in. I look back at this as like, yeah, it is a bit of like, oh, look at baby Tina over there, just embarking in motherhood and the beginnings of her relationship and it all does feel very. And I never really thought about it, Tony, until you said. I mean, every song is basically about love, except for "Son of a Gun" is about George Bush, and that's about. There's two songs about my kids on here, Justine and yeah, it's kind of funny. It is for all in all, it seems like it was a very optimistic album for the most part.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's certainly doing it for me today. And
Hmm.
we're so excited to have you here shining some light on these songs. And we have time for one more song because the hour has gone real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Back Catalog Listening Party is brought to you by EFS Publicity. Founded by veteran publicist, promoter, DJ, and musician Ellen Stanley, EFS brings an artist's perspective to the table, working to help clients get to the next level in their career. Services include national and international media campaigns, radio promotions, tour press, crowdfunding, grant writing, and more. Get a quote or set up a consultation today at efspublicity.com. So actually, this song seems appropriate that the last song is Slow Down. Because, if we could have slowed time so that we could have enjoyed many more songs, we would. But is there anything you want to say about this track before you take a listen?
Yeah, so this song is I wrote this song about our daughter Maya, and I co-wrote it with Dan Wilson. It was one of my
Mm.
first major writing sessions. Our mutual friend John Fields, who produced "It's All Just the Same" um, for the B-sides, he was a good friend of Dan, and he said, "You need to write with Dan," and I'm like, "Cool." So he set it up, and we wrote this song together, which was pretty cool. So that's like another, you know
Awesome.
cool fact about this song, besides it being about my daughter Maya. Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, let's give it a listen. I think this is a great way to tie up our hour here together with Tina Schlieske with Slow Down here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
See that face you try to hide behind a smile. Won't you stay with me?
All right. Tina Schlieske with
Oh.
Slow Down.
Wow.
Another clap.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
Yeah, absolutely
Oh.
necessary today.
So good. That was from Tina Schleske's 2005 album Slow Burn, which we've been revisiting today with Tina, joining us live from her home in California. And thanks so much for spending this hour plus with us, revisiting these songs and having to revisit your own material with your current ears and all this stuff. It's so special to get the inside story behind these songs. And big thanks to all of you out there for joining us as well. And if you liked it as much as you seem to be liking it in the comments, then like it, give it the thumbs up on YouTube, direct more bots to Tina Schlieske. And
I don't know how that
maybe,
happened.
maybe get the fireworks going. And,
Sorry about that.
and also you can subscribe to our YouTube channel because we do this every Friday at 4 p.m. Not with Tina every week, but with other great guest artists. And you can subscribe and get notified what's coming up next. And mainly just thank you for being here, especially on your release day. Again, congratulations on your new jazz album out today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Folks can get it at tinaschlieske.com, and they can also check out information about your March 1st release show here in Minneapolis at Ice House. And they can pick up this record we've been talking about today. It's all at tinaschlieske.com. And thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks,
Oh,
Tina.
you guys are the best. And I mean, there's nothing better than talking to people that love music. I mean, for a person who makes music to talk to people that love music, it is a pure joy. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks. This was just what I needed to just kind of close out the week and start the weekend. I hope it was for everybody out there as well. Connie says, fabulous show, thanks. And Chris says, thanks, Tina. Peace and rock on into the next realm. All right.
Nice.
Okay, that's the start of our weekend right there.
I love it. I love it.
Go forth into the next realm, everybody, and
right.
have a great weekend.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week here on the Back Catalog Listening Party. Cheers.
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 Thanks for joining us on the Back Catalog Listening Party. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review, which helps more people discover our show and our guests.
And do you want to be a part of the live show, get a first look at upcoming guests, and receive invites to private online parties and live streams? Then join our Patreon community at backcataloglisteningparty.com.
Have a great week. We'll see you back here next Friday for another edition of the Back Catalog Listening Party.